So here we have my 04 AP2 S2000. A common problem with these, you get a check engine light that says it's your gas cap. So I already knew that wasn't the case, so I did some research, and it actually is the fuel filler neck. So I'm gonna replace that today. I just figured I'd show some people how to do that. That's the part number right there for the filler neck, and this is the part number for the OEM gas cap. So I already took the steps. I took out the clips in the trunk right here that take out your trunk liner. So I'm going to remove, and that's your fuel filler neck. And then you're also going to remove the 3 bolts from over here at the gas cap. They're 8mm bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and then I'll show you guys after. So a quick 10-minute check-in, because everything I do takes more than 10 minutes. After you take the 3 8mm off, you have to then take a 10mm that's right there. It's attached to this part, right in there. After you remove the 10, there's this boot here. Take the boot off. If you want, you could use WD-40, or I wouldn't use WD-40, but you could. Wiggle this tube up as high as you can, because you're going to need to replace it onto the new filler neck. Then when you take it off, you have these hoses here. It's 3 of them. It's one that uses a Phillips, and 2 more that you're going to need like needle nose pliers to get on. And then you'll just remove them off. These hoses will then dangle. You're going to replace it onto, well, after you get this whole filler neck off, we're going to take the boot off, put it over this one, and then we'll reconnect the hoses on there. To make it easier, like I said, use WD-40 or something, some kind of lubricant. Don't use WD-40, use soap. Soap will help, because you know WD-40 is flammable. Not that there's any spark back here, but still, you just want to be on the safe side. And I'll check back in with you guys in maybe another 10 minutes or something. We'll see. Okay. Alright, so 10 minutes later again, finally got it out. So I read on the forums on S2KI that when you get these things out, you could actually what happens is it crimps the neck. They say it breaks the seal, so actually I can see the difference right here. So this is the old neck. You can see it's all crimped down. There's a big indentation there on the bottom side, and this one is flat. So what the cap is doing, and that's the side by side, what the cap is doing is it's taking it and it's squeezing down on it. So if you just replace the cap like a lot of people say, it actually will end up happening. You'll get the check engine light all over again. So really what you have to do is replace the whole thing. I would always recommend just starting out fresh, starting out new. My car has 140,000 miles, so it's old. So yeah, I definitely would recommend just doing that over. These are the 3 hoses. These are the 3 different clamps. That's the first one on the big hose. I put just paper in there because it smelled like gas. That's the second one. I used the pliers on that. This third one, I don't know what these are called, but I know that when I get it back on there, I'm actually going to just tighten it as much as I can. That's the smallest hose. And you can always, you'll be able to tell when you get them off. All in all, and I use soap as well. It really helped me out a lot there. So I'm going to take off the boot, which is pretty, just use some force, or a little bit. And then, what I'll do is take just simple dish soap, which isn't hard to do. It's very cheap. It costs you like, you can go to the dollar store and get that. And I'm just going to lube around that tube a little bit. Pause. And that way I can slip the hose on, or the boot on a lot easier. If you don't want to go through this trouble and you don't feel like getting your boot back on, I mean, that's up to you. I would personally just do everything like it said. And I'm not a mechanic or anything like that. I haven't ever done this before. I just I'm just looking at it and replacing it. And honestly, on the difficulty chart, I would say this about 1 out of 10. Like super easy. It's time consuming because you're fighting with hoses, but it's not very hard to do. So there, look. So got it on so fast, easily. Now, all I'm gonna do is just install everything in reverse. I'm not gonna have the video on for the entire time to do this, but basically I'll just run you down real quick what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna connect my hoses with my clamps at the end. I'm then gonna take this, I'm gonna, maneuver it, squeeze it back into this thing. I'm gonna secure it, and I'll put the cap on. Put the cap on just so your house or garage or wherever you're working doesn't smell like gas, or you just don't get a bunch of gas fumes and get high. Afterwards, I will then put this boot. I'll leave this boot, like putting it back on over in the fuel tank area. I'll put that on last because it's not really important. It's literally, it just fits right in. But I can, just from getting it out, I can tell it's going to be a little bit of like a fight to get it back in, but it's not a big deal. Just take your time and it'll be okay. All in all, I'll say this, I mean, I'm not done yet, but I would say this job probably would be about maybe 30 minutes total. I would just set aside 30 minutes. It's not that long. And also, after we're done with this, I'll do a quick walk around in the car, show what's done to it. It's pretty stock, but I have big plans for it later, so that's it. Okay. I was actually almost done, had it all back together. I completely forgot. Take this rubber. I don't know if you can order another one from Honda. I don't see anything wrong with this, so I'm not going to. But take this rubber gasket off, the old one, or order a new one if you want, and put it onto the new one. I just wanted to say that before I forgot. Also, in terms of the cap crimping and making that different, I may be slightly wrong. I'm not really sure what exactly goes wrong with these things, but someone said it, if you have it up to the old one, you'll be able to tell the difference. Honestly, I was looking at it again, I really can't tell the difference. Maybe this is slightly rolled a little bit more, but I don't know. I know for a fact this is going to help the check-in. It's going to fix the check engine light though, so otherwise, yeah, just still replace the whole filler neck. I just got to put the gasket on. I'll do that walk around in a second. Alright, so everything's back together. Trunk is, yeah, looks like a car again. And I did put it's not really much to look at. I screwed the 3 bolts in, put the gas cap in. Anyway, so here's my car. Like I said, it's an 04 AP2 stock motor, but I do plan on supercharging it eventually. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do little things, keep it clean. Well, I want to clean up the engine bay. I definitely need to paint my valve cover because, yeah, that was actually my fault. I was messing with brake cleaner, and I don't know, I just went kind of crazy on it. But I do need to sand the VTEC sign, so I want to paint the valve cover. I want to change all the bolts to like all the engine dress bolts. I want to get like a kit from Evasive and Juku Racing, I mean to say. First, I definitely need to clean the bay, and I'll definitely do like a detailed video on that. This is my old battery tie down that I had. Super dirty and rusty, and I changed that to that one. That's an eBay one, but looks pretty good. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but without rusting, but we'll see. I have a front lip on it. I did spray it myself. I did not make a video of that. That's just the base and R lip, but it looks decent. I added these side skirts. It's like downforce style skirts. I also sprayed those by myself, but I'm not a painter. I just used spray can. Came out pretty good. I added this spoiler on there. I forget the style, but it's pretty cool. Whatever. And then for the interior, It's stock. I would like to get racing seats, but I'm on the fence about those because I do like the stock seats too. I added that Modiction shifter. It's the Anvil 2, and it's countersunk, so when you have that gap that's right there, usually with the stock shifter, it has like a ugly gap that's right there, but with the Modiction shifter, with the countersunk, the threads actually start like up here. So when you screw it, it's more like screwing up to the top versus just the thread starting down here. So it does kind of, it's supposed to be a weighted shift knob. It's 1 pound, but I don't really care much for the weight. It's more like getting rid of that gap that's right there. So, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you can tell the difference that it's weighted, but it's not a big, huge difference. It's just enough. And then I added a Kenwood radio. KMMBT325U. It's pretty nice. I also have some focal speakers that are in there. Kind of hard to tell, but I also had to build like a little bracket for those because the magnet was a little big. I used some I actually used plywood and cut it out to fit. I wish I made a video of that too, but oh, and then last thing I did was I replaced the soft top because it had a rip right in this spot right there, and on the other side too. And this one is a Robin's top, and it took me about maybe 20 hours or so to do it, but it came out okay. I mean, this is like a little area that little metal piece right there, it kind of bothers me, but not too much. It's like from the distance you can't really tell. I originally want to go with a hard top, but kind of like being able to, I don't like the squeaks of the hard top, and I also like being able to, sorry about that, I had to laugh for a second. Oh, I also want to, these headlights, like I tried to clean them up, but I don't know, they still got condensation. If I have to sand them one more time, I think what I'm going to end up doing is, instead of sanding it, I'm going to get the eBay ones and take the lens off of those and put it onto this one. Because, I mean, I had this wet sand compound and it came out okay, but I don't know. I don't like it too much, so I think I'm going to be doing that soon. Also, oh, and I got the CR side markers, and that's about it, really. My last thing, what I'm going to do, well, next thing on the list is I'm going to get coilovers. I'm going to go with HKS coilovers, the Hypermax GTs or something like that. And I'm probably going to get, I want the Workmeister S1s, or I might go with, I wanted RPF 1s, Workmeister S1Rs or something like that, and because you can get custom offsets with that. Or I was thinking about getting the Titan, not Titan, what is the last, it slipped my mind. Oh, Wed Sport wheels, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. And but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just look out for more videos if you want to subscribe for more how-tos, or if you have any questions about certain things, you can just contact me on, or leave a comment and I'll respond when I can. I also do have to redo this spoiler. I gotta put it back on again because it does have this ugly gap. I put it on by myself, but I kind of messed up, so you can't tell when it's on the car, and it's on there really sturdy, but it bothers me, so I'm gonna replace it when I get a chance. Anyway, stay tuned for my next video. Thanks.